Hi, everyone. I'm hoping you can hear us. I apologize. We have missed a couple of events, but we had some technical difficulties trying to get out to YouTube this morning. So I'm hoping you can hear me okay. And welcome to the Riptide Swim Team's Intrasquad meet for the 14th of August in 2020. We are currently on event number 2, heat number 2. Lane 1 will be closest to you in the screen, and lane 8 will be farthest from you against the windows. As you can see on screen, we are on Meet Mobile. You can find us under 2020 Minnesota Riptide August Intrasquad or tap Meet Near Me. Again, apologize. We were a few minutes late getting on, but we're on. So here we go. This is lane number 1. We have Emma Patterson. Lane 2, Victoria Smith. Lane 3, her brother Aiden Smith. Lane 4, Charlie Bruner. Lane 5, Robbie Megan. Lane 6, Addie Marsalik. In lane 7, Adele Gillen. And in lane 8, Tara Lee. Here with me today, I announced a special guest yesterday. We have Paul Smith, who will be color commentating with me this morning. You are? I don't think you're connected. Well, we'll get Paul's going as well. Hold on just a second. All right, I think you're connected. Yep, now you're live.
Oh, feels much better
It
than being in
does.
the dark cave, Carl.
All right, well, we hope you appreciate or enjoy the format we've taken. We've got the scoreboard up in your top left corner with your times. And we're going to get ourselves back on track here, get ourselves composed. We are moving on to event number 2, heat number 3. As you'll notice, there's still some kids swimming. They're doing a 50-yard cool down between each heat, just to give everybody a little bit of extra time.
By the way, Charlie Bruner just had a slight tuck there in his 100 freestyle, which is always nice to see.
It is always,
Like this.
yeah, especially this
Took
time
about
of year.
3.5 tenths off. And that is the format, yeah. At the conclusion of each race, the kids will do a 50 cool down. It gives us a little bit of separation between the events, as well as lets their muscles not get all tightened up.
Okay, up next we are on to heat number 3. And this will be in lane 1 will be Sawyer Smith. Lane 2, Claudia Walker. In lane 3 will be Nico Valiente. Lane 4, Tate Dial. Lane 5, Leah Cayley. Out in lane 6, Grace Vogt. Lane 7, Chloe Johnson. And in lane 8, Maddie Jo Lindgren.
Got a couple of fast youngsters here in the middle of the field, lanes 4 and 5, with Tate and Leah with the top seeds in this heat. But a very well-rounded heat overall.
Okay, again, I don't think I mentioned, as we were a little bit frantic, but this is the mixed 100-yard freestyle. And this, again, is heat number 3 of 5.
Nico out quickly at the 25. Oh yeah, we've got quite a race going on in the middle of the pool. Nico and Tate. Although Claudia in lane 2 looking very strong coming off the 50-10. And it is Tate at the 75 turn, trying to bring it home. Nico trying to close, but it's going to be Tate getting in first, 59.28, which is another cut. Again, Carl, that's great to see.
It is great to see, especially this time of the year. You know, I was talking to Mike and Amy yesterday a little bit, and you know, I was asking them what they kind of expect for this meet, and you know, Amy came back and said Amy does our, you know, is pretty much in charge of our younger kids, you know, and Amy said, you know, it's really about swimming, getting in touch with racing again,
Oh,
right? It's
gotcha.
this time of year, especially with what we've gone through with COVID, and you know, practice times being cut, and what were we off 10 weeks, pretty much, where kids were out of the
Yeah.
water.
Yep.
So again, we've had one intra-squad meet, 3 or 4 weeks ago. We had some good swims. We had, but you know, a lot of kids were even or added a little bit, which is pretty normal for what we're going through. So I think any cuts that we can see here today is kind of a bonus. Again, you know, Mike and Amy both, you know, mentioned that it's all about racing, and that's really where it's at, because honestly, I mean, over the next 4 or 5 months, who knows what kind of meets we're going to have.
That's exactly right. We'll be thankful for whatever we can do. And by the way, of note there, we also had Nico sneak under a minute for the first time.
Ooh, very good.
59.85, and Claudia Walker in lane 2 also brought her seed time down.
It's always good to break that minute for the
Yep,
first time in the 100
absolutely. Feels
freestyle.
great.
Okay, we are moving on to Heat 4. We have in lane 1, Jovan Langseth. Lane 2, Sarah DeFore. Lane 3, Audrey Persich. Lane 4, Grayson Marcotte. Lane 5, Harrison Bowie. Lane 6, Elsa Riley. And lane 7, Caroline Mulrooney. I believe our only 12-year-old maybe today. And then in lane 8 is Brenna Branson.
Carl,
Yes.
as an 11-time winner of the American High School Swim Coach Association of America.
This is a fabrication, but
That is a
yes.
fabrication. It's a slight exaggeration. But as a 9-time winner,
Oh, 9-time winner, yes.
what do you look for in the 100 freestyle? What would you say to these youngsters as they're approaching the block heading out? How do you like them to swim a race?
I like to see them swim a race, well, if you're looking at this time of the year or a normal time of the year,
Non-tapered.
non-tapered. You got to get out there and just give it what you can, right? A lot of this time of the year, the coaches are focusing on starts, turns, you know, trying to be fast in and out of the flags and things like that. So I think in this time of the year, any time of the year, especially non-tapered, I think that makes a lot of, you know, it makes a lot of sense for these kids to focus on a few things at a time.
Curious, are you someone that likes to talk to kids about taking it out as hard as you can? And if you die at the 80 or you die at the 90, so what? You're not going to die when you're tapered, or do you encourage them to
Yeah, I like
pace
to.
that race?
Yeah, I like to see them. You know, you obviously don't want to go all out in a 500 freestyle or 1,000 or a mile,
No,
and then you're going to be looking at probably a pretty ugly swim towards the end.
but
But
in your 100 free.
yes, in your 100 freestyle, yes, go for it, because if you start feeling pretty horrible at the 75, chances are by the time you're tapered and down to the end of the season, you're going to feel pretty good.
Fully agree with that one. And Grayson,
And we have Grayson
we've
coming
got
in.
another cut. Grayson seed time going into that was 53.5, and he just touched in 52.62.
Excellent,
Great race.
excellent. Okay, they're going to get a little bit of a cool down here. And then we've got kind of an all-star heat coming up on the next one, so this one will be fun too.
Yeah, we got some wheels here, don't we?
In our next heat, I'll preface this a little bit. We have Matthew Warwig in lane 1, Sullivan Labno in lane 2. At the last intra-squad meet, Sullivan had a great 500 freestyle, dropped about 11 seconds, so that was a great swim. Max Blodgett In lane 3, um, Jackson Kaler will be in lane 4. He is 2020's Minnesota State High School League state winner in both the 200 and the 500 freestyle. We have in lane 5, Hawken Naughton. Lane 6, Jackson's little brother, and by little I only mean in age.
Yeah, I was about to say, right?
Thomas. In lane 7, Logan Schindler. And in lane 8, I am proud to say, is my own son, Evan Kinsep, who this time is from 2018, maybe.
We have an anti-nepotism policy that does not allow you to mention your son's
I'm sorry.
name. You are not allowed to mention
His initials are ETK,
Huh.
and I know him kind of.
And the beauty here is that Evan is an outstanding distance freestyler, so it's always fun to see him bring it down to the 100
Yep.
and see what he can do.
Yep. Yeah, Evan was the, if I can speak to it.
Okay, we're going to make a waiver.
Oh, thank you. Evan was the mile winner at the senior state meet back pre-COVID. And when I mean pre-COVID, I mean like the week before everything shut down. So he is,
exactly right.
he is a distance kid, and he is working on his strokes and his sprinting. But yeah, he is known for his 1,000 and his mile for sure. Where Jackson won the 500 at state, Evan was in 5th place at state. So Riptide had a good showing, along with Keegan Henning, who placed 7th at state. So Riptide had a really great showing at the 2020 state meet for Minnesota.
And at our Intrasquad back in July, Keegan, also who's a big distance kid, came down and swam the 50 and 100 freestyle.
Okay.
So this is going to be all about the middle of the pool with Jackson and Hawken. Jackson lane 4, Hawken lane 5, closer to the windows. But Jackson explodes off the block, picks himself up into the easy feed. There he is at the 50 turn, going out in 23.12. Jackson looking strong into the 75 turn.
I didn't expect Evan to be in the 2nd or 3rd place at this time, to tell you the truth, but Jackson's going to take this handily.
Yes, he is. 47.31. Hawken touching in 49.88.
There we go. We got a lot of good drops right there.
Yeah, we certainly did. Thomas Keller coming in at 51.44, which is another drop for him in lane 6. So very strong performance by those kids.
Yeah, that looked great. This is a good sign. I think we're starting to show that these older kids have been out at the Northfield pool, which is 50-meter pool, excuse me, at least 3 times a week. And the great thing about that is we get 2 hours, 2 hours during the weekday, and then we get 2.5 hours on Saturday for those kids that get to swim on Saturday. So we appreciate the extra time we're getting now in the water. It's a big change from, I know when my son started after we first got in the pool and it was 1 per lane, we were an hour, right? Some kids were an hour and 15, but that was about the max.
That's correct. Extremely limited pool time, for which we were very grateful, right?
Yes.
But certainly not ideal training conditions.
Right. So that finishes up the 100 freestyle. We are now moving on to the event number 3, the 200 backstroke. We have 2 heats of this.
The crowd's clearly excited, Carl, seeing these youngsters give it their all. Please, guys, hold it down. Thank you.
We got some live chat coming through. It's we're watching it live on my iPad as well, just to make sure everything is ticking along good. So if you do have comments, if you want to have a shout out to your kid, I see a Let's Go Max. Sorry, I just saw that, so I'm a little bit behind. But coming up next in heat 1 of the 2 is Ann Lee in lane 3, and Seb Gillen in lane 4, and Hadley Record in lane 5.
Little 200 backstroke, which does wonders for causing deep burn in your legs, in your shoulders, in your lats.
I was just told that we look like the 2 old men from the Muppets that heckle.
I think that's a compliment.
I think it is too. All right.
I hope to look that good, Carl.
Me too.
At our advanced age. Beautiful thing. One of the things we're always trying to talk to the kids about in their practices is short course racing and really working their underwaters off their turns can be very difficult to do, requires a lot of focus and commitment and cardiovascular development. You see coming off the turn here, there's a real temptation you want to pop right up and grab some air.
So we're being told we can hear you, but we can't hear you as well. So
Very disappointing.
I don't know if we want to switch. You want to switch to this one?
I think we should.
It's clean. It's COVID
Unless
free.
they prefer it this way.
So let's see if we can get that one going. I'm going to mute this one. And that's not the greatest headset, but hopefully it will. I'm working on it right now. Okay, why don't you, I see we got your mouth moving here. We got your numbers moving. They're telling me that they'd much prefer to hear you. So.
That hurts. That hurts, Carl, on your behalf. I care about you.
I know you do. I know you do. Much better. Okay, good.
So I apologize in advance for those of you who did not want to hear me better.
Now he says that now they're telling us that you sound like me.
I sound
so maybe
like
we really
Carl?
are the Muppets.
Oh,
those
man.
old Muppets
Carl,
up there.
That makes me feel, I almost want to blush.
You are blushing.
Thank you.
I can't see you. So,
no.
Yeah.
All right, where are we at here, Carl? 2 minutes and 7 seconds into the 200 back.
We've had some heckling from our...
We've had heckling?
The few people in the stands that are here today that signed up and were lucky enough to get in.
It's an overwhelmingly large crowd, Carl. You're sort of trying to be modest, I think.
I am being a little bit modest.
And there we do. Nice finish. 228.46 for Seb. 228.92 for Ann. And Headley comes in at 237.06. And the crowd is appreciative, clearly.
Up next, we have the second and final heat. And another shout out. I got another kid swimming.
Nepotism.
This is a group that swims together for the most part. They're all great friends. In lane 2 is Claire Kinseth. In lane 3 is Amelia Labno. Lane 4 is Claire's best friend, Catherine Bonneville.
By the way, whose nickname is McShake.
McShake.
Her older sister is McNugget. Catherine is McShake.
That's
important.
It is. Lane 5 is Hunter Ridding. A note there.
Uh-oh.
As lucky as you feel it is or unlucky you feel it is, he's the only boy in junior select.
That is
The rest is all girls. It is what it is.
Speaks volumes about the United States of America and freedom of opportunity.
It's true. In lane 6, Stella Bouchard, and in lane 7 will be Abby Mann. And this is the final heat of the mixed 200 yards backstroke, event number 3.
Hunter's mother, Sissy, coaches for the Riptide swim team, and she is on deck today.
Did you know that Claire's father coaches?
What's his name?
I can't remember.
I believe he is the legendary 9-time winner of the American Swim Coaching Association of America.
One and the same.
I believe.
Absolutely. Yes.
We would be fortunate if later on we could get head team coach Mike Parado up here in the broadcast booth for a brief interview. We're not going to throw softball questions at him either. It's going to be pretty tense.
Yes, very much so.
I think it's important that we let people know that we would be using some incredible music to support this performance today, but we don't want to get shut down.
Right.
Is that correct, Carl?
Yes, we don't need YouTube shutting
No copyright
violations. No problems getting this thing started.
There we go.
All right.
All right.
At least for Claire, I don't believe she has swam this since 2019, December of 2019. So
Claire
to see how she does.
just put on an underwater clinic on her start, however. That was beautiful. She was our leader there at the breakout.
Oh, very good. I couldn't see her because of the table.
I'm only saying that because her father's here.
Oh, yes, thank you.
McShake in lane 4 and Hunter in lane 5. Trying to maintain that stroke rate in the 200 back is no easy feat. Or hand, for that matter, Carl.
It's true, yes. We got a good race there in the middle right now.
Yeah, this is fantastic. Amelia Labno, Catherine, and Hunter. Yeah, coming into the 100 turn, we're going to be right where we were at the 75 turn, it appears. Unless Catherine, oh, here we go. Nope, Hunter's going to snap it and be out in a 109.22. A whopping 9 hundredths ahead of young Catherine. Although Amelia in lane 3 is making her presence known.
We are getting some great feedback online, and I
Britta,
totally agree with Miss Dial about
Britta, thank you, and that check is in the mail.
Yes.
As well as the free bowl of soup from a local diner.
That's
Split
right.
pea, I believe it's going to be, Carl.
Ooh, that one I can't do.
I can't either.
No.
That's why we're giving it away for free. Hunter trying to pull away. Heading into the 175 turn, he looks strong. Oh yeah, it's going to be all Hunter.
It is going to be all Hunter. And I believe we got.
He's going to be
Catherine
very
and
near.
4.
Yeah, very near his seed time here. Can he sneak under it? He did sneak under it at 2:18.80. Seed was 2:19.97. Catherine snuck in 2:21.8. In second place, we had Amelia there at 2:20.48.
I think
right on seed time.
Yeah, that was pretty good swims.
Yeah, it was.
The board.
It was.
This is good. This is. I'm excited about this. I was a little tentative as to how this was all going to go, but it seems like it's playing out pretty well.
I think the kids are clearly motivated by the broadcast booth.
I believe that, yes, they are. They were very excited to be live.
It brings a tear to your eye, doesn't it, Carl?
Because we would actually be done with the Olympics now, wouldn't we?
Yeah. Would have wrapped up early August. But this is almost like the Olympics for us.
It's a lot like it. I mean, Rowdy Gaines has nothing on you.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
Rowdy Gaines, Dan Hicks.
Nothing.
The entire NBC broadcast team.
Yeah, no.
They're probably monitoring this right now, trying to get some ideas.
Their stream probably would have, not worked for at least 4 events, where ours was only 1 event.
And they're significantly higher paid people for that aspect of their lives than you and I are, Carl.
Yes, I believe that. I actually plan on getting into gymnastics.
Really?
Commentating for gymnastics after this, yes.
I admire that too.
Yeah.
Anything to give back to the youngsters.
Absolutely. I know nothing about it, but, I'll do what I can. We are at event number 4. This is the mixed 100-yard breaststroke. We have 2 heats. In lane 2, we have Grace Sturrott. In lane 3, Emma Patterson. Lane 4, Sophie Scroggins. In lane 5, Manny Jo Lindgren. And in lane 6, Aiden Seimer. I believe Maddie Jo is coming off the 100 freestyle, which was
yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Not very long ago.
We call that a tough double, Carl.
That is a tough double, but today's going to be tough. It's going to go fast.
Other than being roughly twice as long as the 50 breast, what do you look for in the 100 breast?
I enjoy the breaststroke. I think it's a great stroke. I don't think everybody can do it. There's a lot of timing aspects and things like that.
Yep.
But, what I look for is, and I'm a little bit different to some people, right? I want those kids to be on top of the water. You see a lot of kids diving deep down, and some are taught that.
Sort of the dolphin movement.
Movement, which I think inhibits it a little bit.
Agreed.
So I like them to be on top of the water, keep that head close to the top of the water.
Sophie in lane 4 out in 37.65. And again, obviously in short course racing, breaststroke pullouts, gigantic.
Yes,
take advantage of your walls.
Absolutely. a lot of the times, I've been coaching high school swimming for about 16 years. This will be my 16th year.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things I teach is that breaststroke pullout because kids snap out of it so fast.
Yeah.
And, they don't allow each of that, they don't allow that initial pull to finish.
Yep.
Right? And
lose the momentum forward.
Lose the momentum by breaking out of that streamline and everything. So I really teach.
Maddie Joe, excuse me for stepping on your breaststroke tutorial, but Maddie Joe.
Did she just destroy it?
Sneaks in at 1:18.04.
She's right on her time.
Yeah, she's right on her time, and she had a very strong back half in that race. I'm sorry, I want to go back to what you're saying about breaststroke.
No, I was pretty much done.
Oh, no, you weren't. Come on. There's
but
only
that's
a
what I look
cooldown.
for, and it's a significant fix for a lot of these kids who some aren't club swimmers, or some are, part-time club swimmers that maybe don't get that specific instruction. It's almost, to me, I feel like it's almost looked over a little bit.
Oh, absolutely.
So we really focus on that, and there's some specific drills that we have, we've pulled from, other coaches, college coaches, and things that we work on at Egan High School. So,
shameless plug.
Shameless plug for Egan High School. Yes.
We will expect some type of a gift certificate or something from Egan High School administration for that free advertising.
I'll get right on that. I'll approach the AD, see if we can get any money out of her.
Yeah, of course. But it is true. Something like 100 breast, if you've got a kid that's a 120 in the 100 breast with weak pullouts, and you sit down and spend 10 minutes working with that kid in a structured environment on those pullouts, a 120 quickly can become a 117 or a 116, just right like that. It's low-hanging fruit.
Absolutely. Shameless plug for my daughter again, and this is not a good thing. This is something she's working on, is the in and out of that turn, right? That you have a number of kids that tend to grab the wall, pull up, drop down,
exactly.
and then go, right? So
instead of snapping the turn.
Instead of snapping that turn, which I know Amy has worked on with the kids in junior select quite a bit. So, okay, we are moving on to heat number 2 of event number 4, the 100 breaststroke. In lane 1, we have Elsa Riley. Lane 2, Ben Fowler. Lane 3, Kaylee Buss. Lane 4, Tyler Buss, or T-Bus, as he's called by his friends. In lane 5, Matthew Mortensen. Lane 6, Elizabeth Bonneville. In lane 7, Sarah DeFore. And in lane 8 is Felicia Simring.
Elizabeth Bonneville, the aforementioned McNugget.
Yes.
Of McDonald's fame.
Yes.
And the buses in lane 3 and 4, Kaylee and Tyler.
Cousins.
Cousins, yes, not siblings.
Sister,
yes, that's correct. Siblings is the fancy term for it, Carl.
Is. I hadn't hit my thesaurus yet.
Of course, it's complicated. Here we go. We've got a race in the middle of the pool there in lane 4 and 5. Tyler and Matthew. Oh, yeah, dead even at the 75. Once again, talking about pullouts. Who's up? And they're pullouts, neck and neck.
Very good.
Who wants this more, Carl?
Ooh, I think they made a pact at the beginning, by the way. It's looking to touch at the same time.
Is it like synchronized swimming?
It is a little bit.
Well, that's disappointing. Matthew broke the agreement.
But
and
not by much.
Had the audacity to sneak in at a 105.69. Tyler touching in 106.05. So I think in the synchro contest, the judges would probably give them what, Carl? A 6.5?
Yeah, it wouldn't be high. Wouldn't be high. All right. Ooh, we got a good long one next. Looks like nobody wanted to participate in the 400 IM today.
That's shocking, Carl.
We have event number 5 coming up next. We have 3 swimmers that are going to participate in the 400 IM. One has no time, so this may be a very first time swim for her.
It makes you realize that Coach Mike Parado needs to spend more time focusing on the cardiovascular development of his athletes if they're afraid of this 400 IM. Is that your takeaway?
You realize this will be recorded and he will be able to watch it later, correct?
It's possible.
Okay, just checking.
Mike's a busy man, though,
He is.
The chances of him getting around to this broadcast are...
I'm going to send him that timestamp.
Would you let him know?
Fast forward right to it.
I'll screen my calls.
Thank
I'm
you.
not concerned.
All right, so up again, the 400 IM. We have Addie Marsalik in lane 3. We have lane 4 is Anna Olson. And in lane 5 is Jovan Langseth. Are they watching this down there?
I was just called out by Mike's wife, Amy Parado, for that nasty remark I made about Mike.
So they are watching it.
She's down on deck screaming at me.
Very good.
Sense of humor is lost, Carl.
I can hear it somewhere. Can you hear it? The live stream? No, I turned that down.
You hear it?
I thought I could. Maybe
Probably
not.
just echoing in our minds.
Yeah, I just like hearing myself speak, I guess.
I agree. Surprising that we've not been hearing the USA chant recently.
I know. Where are our fans today? Oh, there they are.
Yeah, this could be a distraction for the kids on the block. We're gonna have to ask the crowd to calm down.
I'm gonna turn the tables on you here, and this, for me, this is a demanding event, right? You've got to be. You watch this event in any college forum, any Olympic forum, any World Championship forum, and you've got athletes who are great in the butterfly, great in the backstroke, completely fall apart in the breaststroke, and then
fight it out in the
freestyle. Or you have a terrible butterflyer and a great backstroker and an okay breaststroker. They're all over the board. Do you know? I guess my question to you is, what can swimmers do, in your opinion, to make this event, a little more well-rounded event?
I think it can be such a challenge because, again, in a short course pool, walls let you hide your weaknesses. Mm-hmm. So for so many swimmers, breaststroke, that third leg, is their weakness, obviously. Yeah. And that's where, going back to where we were 10 minutes ago, we try to focus on their breaststroke pullouts, trying to focus on their rate once they do come up off the pullout. If they don't have the ability to move a lot of water with that breaststroke kick, can we instead replace it with some higher stroke rate on the front end, some strength development on the upper body to try to make that breaststroke minimized. But for me, this is an event where A, you've got to trust your training, and B, you've got to play to your strengths.
Right.
So if fly and back are your strength, there's nothing to be gained by being afraid to get after it and feel that pain on the back end.
Yeah.
Because if that's your weapon, you cannot give it away on the front 200 yards or meters of this race and hope you're going to make it up on your
and just
weak breaststroke.
And I use my son as an example, and I'm sure he'll appreciate this, but he is that, he's a good butterflyer, he's a good backstroker.
Yep.
His breaststroke, which could be very good, he thinks it's not, but it could be, is where we basically just say, do your best to hold on.
Yep.
Right, and I think that's where a lot of swimmers are with the breaststroke in this event.
Yeah, and it can be, honestly, the breaststroke, the great equalizer in the IM, it can be very demoralizing for the 95% of people that can't swim breaststroke when the 5% that can make their move. But good for them.
Yep.
Good for them. And that's why when you move up to more and more elite levels, on an international level, a national level, and you start to see some of those truly superb athletes that have well-rounded strokes across the board. Certainly some are better than others, but it allows them to really put the hurt on the competition.
Yep. Agreed. So speaking of, we have now moved into the 100 breaststroke leg of the 400 IM.
Oh.
We have Addie Marsalik, I believe, coming in on her backstroke now. She'll turn and burn into the 100 breaststroke.
That is correct, and we're at the 25 turn there in the breast leg.
You can hear the distinctive whistle of Michelle Hopewell.
That would be a Michelle Hopewell whistle.
Yep, it is. I'm sure it's coming across loud and clear.
Oh, a lot of appreciation, though, for what the kids are doing here. We were surprised this morning to see the line around the block with spectators waiting to get into the Blue Water Aquatic Center.
I believe I saw Bob Bowman.
Bob did fly up on his Gulfstream from Arizona State this morning.
Yep.
believe he's here to take a look at your son and
No.
Jackson.
Well, maybe. Catherine Randall, I believe, is
Catherine,
also,
yes, is on that list.
Yep.
Of course, he is going to ask them the red shirt.
Yes. Well, they're 2022, so I'm hoping that we're past all
It's a very
this.
long red shirt.
Yes, very long red shirt. Oh, you're getting a shout out by Ella Bus.
Wait a minute. Ella. Uh-oh. Ella, what's going on?
Megan Hutchins has given us a little shout out. That's nice to see.
Megan, that kind of feedback means the world to Carl and I.
She was very helpful yesterday.
Or Carl and me, if we're concerned about our grammar.
I'm not. But she was helpful yesterday getting everything set up for my testing, which worked great yesterday. And then today, of course, it fell apart at the beginning of the
I can share with the worldwide audience, which I believe, according to our statistics here, is approaching just south of 1 million viewers, which we appreciate. Every single one of you. Thank you. Shout out. That Carl was quite frustrated. He put a lot of time into this. He had it just running like clockwork. And then the Rolex turned into a
time stopped.
A time
for me.
Some type of a
Yeah.
lower quality timepiece.
And my texting was blowing up from wife, parents, everybody else. So
but they were supportive, I imagine.
Telling me something I already knew that it wasn't working.
Of course.
Yeah.
Look at that. Anna and Joven. Actually, nice efforts there. Not on their seed times, but again, sitting here in a 400 IM, you wouldn't expect them to be.
Right.
Not at this point in the world.
Yeah. And again, as I mentioned earlier with Mike and Amy, I don't think they're expecting huge time drops, right? We're not expecting junior national cuts at this meet or anything like that. It's about keeping that feel for racing and breaking up the monotony of swim practice after swim practice after swim practice. So,
and in large part, this meet is about our opportunity to speak to the public.
Yes, that's more what it's about.
I agree.
The swimming thing is just
it's a backdrop.
It's a backdrop. Yeah.
I have to wonder, does our audience want us to try to arrange an interview with head team coach Mike Parado, or would that be a distraction from really the high quality work that's going on here in the broadcast booth right now?
We can let them make the decision. We have over 30 people watching right now. Bless your souls.
You're so modest.
And
30 people.
Well, we got some picture taking going on down here of Amy and Mike.
The vanity.
Yeah.
Carl, you and I live a different type of life. We don't seek the limelight. We don't seek photos, photo ops, paparazzi.
We should take a selfie.
Let's do it. Let's take it. Let's post it.
I was going to take a look at the weather here real quick. I know we had some problems coming our way.
Yeah, it was a little ominous looking, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And we are sitting very high in the Blue Water Aquatic Center, surrounded by a lot of electrical equipment.
And I believe the roof is metal.
And the roof is metal.
Yeah.
So the chances of this going poorly for us.
Mr. Hutchins joining us in the booth today.
I think he should get on the mic for a bit. Tell some of his jokes.
Megan's watching and hearing some feedback from her peers and saying you guys are getting 10 out of 10 out there.
Excellent.
So.
Megan gave us a legendary status.
We have just received some tremendous feedback in the broadcast booth from our own Eric Hutchins, who just came up to let us know. What did you want to let us know?
The feedback is positive. You guys did a great job.
The feedback is positive, Carl.
Love it.
The feedback is positive. We appreciate that. We've quoted him. ESPN The Ocho is in our inbox right now. I do see a message.
I have a feeling they would be contacting us.
For the cherry spitting.
So Addie Masalik for the first time swim, 6:03. Very, very good swim for the very first time in the 400 IM. She is 13. 400 IM can be daunting at any age.
Oh, I so admire the kids that tackle it.
Yep.
It's great to see.
So we're moving on to event number 6. This one's going to go fast. It's 50-yard freestyle. In lane 2, we have Nadim. In lane 3, Nadim Boulos. In lane 3, Grace Sturrott. Lane 4, Tara Lee. Lane 5, Leah Hadsel. Lane 6, Trent Kaselke. And in lane 7, Abby Glode.
50 free. All about that start.
This gets picked up really easy. So maybe hold it back a little bit.
What are we looking at here? We've got some outside smoke. Out in lane 6, Trent is going to bring it home. 30.53 seed time. He touches in 30. Oh no, he brought it in 29.05.
My dad. Getting some feedback from my dad as well.
The crowd, apparently, Carl, is overly enthusiastic.
They are overly enthusiastic, which is fine. We will take that.
I'm going to go back and speak to them and let them know to tone it down a notch or two. 29.05 by Trent. Really, really nice swim. And a 30.37 with Tara. Very consistent. Nice racing.
Yep, very good.
I'd say they earned their cool down.
They did. They very much did. So we have Heat 2 coming up. And we have Maddie Jo Lindgren again. She is a juggernaut today.
It's what we call a tough triple.
A tough triple. She will be swimming in lane 1. In lane 2, we have Tegan Gulbranson. Lane 3, Stella Bouchard. Lane 4, Charlie Bruner. Lane 5, Abby Nan. In lane 6 is McShake.
McShake. Thank you for remembering that.
Yes. In lane 7, Emma Patterson. And in lane 8 is Ann Lee.
Boy, there's a number of people swimming their second and or third events, it seems.
Yep, there is. Again, if you're joining us today, you are watching the second Intrasquad meet for Riptide swim teams since the COVID outbreak and since we've all been locked down. We appreciate you being on. We have 30 plus people live watching. I think part of the idea here is to take this beyond just meets like this. Hopefully when we get back to normal, this will be a staple of for winter meets, right?
Oh,
yes. We
yes.
have a lot of grandparents and people that go south. And so we were hoping to continue to live stream even over the winter months so that the grandparents and such can watch.
Yeah, we hope people appreciate it, and we think it adds a lot of value to the team. And thank you again, Carl, for everything you've done to try to figure this out and make it work for us.
Again, like I said, it's a little bit self-serving, so my parents can watch and a lot of other parents can watch.
All great inventions are ultimately self-serving.
Yes, this is true.
That's right. In lane, impressive. Lane 3.
Excellent.
That was young Stella Bouchard.
In lane 3.
28.63.
Yep. Everybody pretty much held tight there, so that's a great swim. They're going on their 50-yard cool down. John Bonneville is asking us what's planned for the halftime show.
We've got Janet Jackson waiting
that's
in
risky.
the hospitality suite. We call it the green room.
We actually do have a green room.
Yeah, we do.
Isn't the hospitality suite green?
I would say that's where the original.
Even if it's blue,
interesting
we'll call it
trivia.
green.
That's where the term green room comes from.
It's from our hospitality
Blue Water Aquatic
suite.
Center.
Oh, very good.
It's been picked up by a number of other shows, like The Tonight Show, originally with Johnny Carson.
Wow, we do go way back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
You might remember Joan Rivers hosted that show for a brief period.
It's funny that we have people in the stands that are watching live, yet are still watching us, or listening to us, as it were, and commenting at the same time.
It speaks to the magnetism of what we're doing up here today, Carl.
Yes, it does.
It's groundbreaking.
It is.
All right.
So we have another comment. What do we got here?
Uh-oh.
John, what is planned for halftime? We should hear from Coach Mike today, too, see what he thinks about the race.
It's a vote for Coach Mike.
I think it is.
We will get him up here in the broadcast booth.
All right, we're moving on to Heat 3. We got Lane 1, we got Hadley Record. Lane 2, Amelia Labno. Lane 3, Claudia Walker. Lane 4, Braden Kovacs. Lane 5, Ben Fowler. Lane 6, Seb Gillen. Lane 7, Grace Vogt. And Lane 8, Sawyer Smith.
Carl.
Yeah.
Why is there no halftime? in USA Swimming club swim meets?
Well, the only equivalent would be the 10 minutes before the 500, the 1,000, or the mile. That would really be about it.
That's like a 2/3 time, though.
Yeah.
Or even a 3/4 time. Now, in high school, we have the diving break. I think we need to have a committee look into the idea of having a halftime show for these club meets.
I agree. Maybe we can get Duran Duran.
Oh. Or how about an Adam Lambert-led Queen
There you go. You could do that.
concert? How much could that cost?
Might be $1 or $2. Oh, looks like Braden comes in screaming.
Yeah, he sure did. 25-17.
Which is a great drop.
Blew the doors off for him. Wonderful swim.
Wow.
And by the way, young Mr. Fowler snuck in under his seed time by 2 100ths as well.
Very good. Very good.
Very nice. I would think our average viewer isn't able to appreciate just the complexity of trying to keep up with the fast-paced action of a 53.
It is tough. I have announced for quite a while for Riptide, and I've had a few opportunities to announce for, for some other teams as well at the U of M. And the 50 free is by far the hardest thing to keep up with.
Yes.
Especially when you get to these senior kids, 16, 17, 18, 19, where they're blowing the doors off, in 21, 22 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
Try to get 8 full names in and their lane assignment,
It's easier just to go with "Hey you."
Yeah, there's some people in lanes 1 through 8, and
that dude.
It is what it is. Read your program.
Right. Howard Cosell never could have done it.
Never. All right, we have our final heat coming up. We have heat number 4, the 50 freestyle. This is the final heat again. Lane 1 is Matthew Warwick. Lane 2 is Harrison Bowie. Lane 3, Grayson Marcotte. Lane 4, T-Bus again. Lane 5, Max Bloggett. Lane 6, Logan Schindler. Lane 7, Sullivan Labno. And in lane 8, Nico Valiente.
Oh, it's getting raucous. It reminds me of
I feel like we're at a soccer match in Ireland or something.
Well, in Europe they prefer to call it football.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This is true.
I can't be ethnocentric here, Carl.
We should have some of those big flags that we can swing from up
I
here.
would absolutely agree with that.
Not swing from. That's weird.
We're going to put that into the 2020-2021 budget.
Yes, I agree. And here we go.
Can Tyler Buss get it done in lane 4? He's coming off the 100 breast. He's out.
He is out.
Smartly is what we call it.
Ooh.
Oh, ho, 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 ho. Max Blodgett says, not so fast, Mr. Buss.
Yeah. And look at lane 3.
Look at Grayson Marcotte also saying, we got outside smoke in lane 7 as well. Sullivan Labno. Lane 5,
lane
Max
5,
Blodgett.
Max takes it at 23.96.
Certainly did. That was a smartly contested race. And anyone that's ever seen an ignorant 50 free knows the difference. Is that right, Carl?
This is true. I can't argue that.
When do we sneak head team coach Mike Parado up to the broadcast booth?
Well,
There's so much going on.
I'm betting we can't drag him away just yet.
Do you think we have to try to call for an actual halftime time?
We might have to call for a timeout.
Who's in charge?
I thought you were.
Well, that's cute. You're under what we call a misapprehension. All right. I'm going to shout down to head team coach Mike Parado.
Yeah?
See what he thinks.
Okay.
Hang on, let's see. Of course he walks off to the bathroom.
No.
He saw it coming. He saw it coming. That was terrible. We were going to invite Michael Parado, the Michael Parado, Jenny Thompson fame,
Yes.
up to the broadcast booth.
And now Reagan Smith.
And we possibly that as well. And when we tried to do that, he walked briskly away from us as if he needed to go to the facilities.
If you'd notice, most people do.
That's not uncommon. You're
Yes.
correct, Carl.
All right, up next we have event number 7, the mixed 100-yard backstroke. In Heat 1, we have 3 heats total. In Heat 1, in Lane 3 is Robbie Megan. In Lane 4, Caitlin Kuznar. And in Lane 5 is Aiden Seimer.
And again, in the interest of being a broken record, underwaters.
Yep.
The sooner these young swimmers realize the dolphin kick and the walls are their friend, the sooner they start to see some pretty dramatic time cuts.
Yep.
All right, what are you seeing, Carl?
We've got a shout out from Max Blodgett's grandparents watching from Waukesha, Wisconsin. We're starting to go international.
Welcome aboard.
Yes,
Wisconsin
welcome aboard.
is on the edge of internationality.
It is. So that's great. I'm glad you're enjoying today's swim meet. Again, I'm hoping that we continue to do this for, the swim meets coming up. And if it goes like it did this morning, where it gives me a small minor heart attack, I may have to get some help up here to do this.
I was hurting for you again,
I know
Carl.
you were.
That was not easy to watch. You're a perfectionist by nature.
That is not true. All right, here we go. Caitlin is coming in. And Caitlin is much improved. I coached her a little bit in the evenings. And
look at that cut.
There's the improvement right there.
Yeah, that's
6
impressive.
Seconds. So
Beautifully
that's a great
done.
swim. Caitlin swims with our Senior 1 group, again, the group that I coach a little bit, along with Eric Vogan and Sissy and a few others.
Aiden had a nice time cut as well. And Robbie snuck in about 6,500s quicker as well. So we had 3 time cuts in one
very
heat.
Good. Very good.
Let's call it 100%, Carl.
It is. That's the full. It's not the full Monty.
Wait a second. I'd like to apologize for Carl. This is a family-friendly broadcast.
I did mark it in YouTube as.
I did see that. Yes, not for children.
Not for children. Yes.
Wait a minute. So does that give us a longer leash than I realized we had?
Yeah, I don't think it does. I don't think it does.
Well, that's glass half empty.
We'll still,
Carl.
We'll still keep it together.
Okay.
All right, we are moving on to Heat 2. They're cooling down from Heat 1 right now, but Heat 2 is Megan Wall in Lane 2. In Lane 3 is Thomas Kaler. In Lane 4 is Chloe Johnson. Lane 5 will be Leah Cayley. Lane 6, Aiden Smith. And in Lane 7, Adele Gillen.
The Full Monty was an outstanding movie.
I can't remember.
Oh.
I know. It's been a long time.
That just cost us probably a 10 share in our Hollywood audience.
Oh, that could be. But our viewers went up when I said that.
I would have to agree with you completely.
So we're going for the 40. I'm hoping we hit 40 today.
Remember, there is a free bowl of split pea soup for the 100th
we need
person
one
to join the broadcast.
As I mentioned to Paul earlier today, I don't think we were on the stream. Oh, now see, we lost 2 because of that. We're looking for 100 subscribers, and not for notoriety. We don't make any money off this or anything.
Shh.
Oh, sorry. Shh. But if we can do 100 subscribers, it is my understanding that the live stream, when finished, will automatically be uploaded to YouTube, so it can be watched, by people who couldn't make the live stream. If it is under 100 subscribers, then I believe it takes anywhere from 24 to 48 hours for that live stream to come up. And we've crossed the 40-person mark, so that's good. Maybe some people dropped off when they didn't see it started right away, and they're coming back on.
Oh, yeah. Very nice start out there in Lane 3 by Thomas. The backstroke ledge is becoming pretty standard at higher end meets all around the country and the world.
Is there any, do you see Riptide going to that anytime soon? Has there been any talk about that, do you know?
It's something we'd love to be able to do. It honestly comes down to an issue of cost.
Okay.
And they're not exactly an inexpensive item.
No.
You can come up with some makeshift ledges that function exactly the same. The question is, can you get them approved for use in a sanctioned meet?
Yeah.
And we have, a couple for practice purposes. But yeah, you don't tend to see them used in local meets all that often.
Now we're getting some great feedback online still. That's wonderful.
Mr. Keller with a 7-second cut. We call that showing off, Carl.
Oh, we do.
In 100.
We do. There's no holding back some of these kids, though.
No. Honestly, everyone seemed to have... Well, no, we even cut in the outside lanes, didn't we, Carl? Adele came in at 1:14.40 with a 1:13.48.
Yep.
Out in lane 7. And, yeah, very impressive.
We are moving on to Heat 3 next. We have Caroline Mulrooney in lane 1, Audrey Persich in lane 2, Evan Kinseth in lane 3, Jackson Keller in lane 4, Matthew Mortensen in lane 5, Kaylee Buss in lane 6, Brennigal Branson in lane 7, and Tate Dial in lane 8.
Kaylee has a beautiful backstroke. Still working herself back into shape, so I highly doubt she'll be all over her seed time.
Okay. Yeah, I have not seen her swim for quite a while.
She has a really pretty backstroke. Head team coach Mike Parado and myself were watching her in practice the other morning, and Michael commented on that.
Okay. Did you make the trip down to Northfield, or was that here at the?
That was here at
our facility.
Lovely Blue Water Aquatic Center.
Okay.
In Apple Valley.
In Apple Valley, Minnesota. Yep, I was just going to mention for those of you who don't know, we are in Apple Valley, Minnesota. I think we have some people online from some different states this morning. So looks like we have people in Florida. We have some grandparents in Florida right now that are watching. So we've moved to Wisconsin and to Florida.
That is even more international.
It is more international-ish, yes.
Yes.
This is very exciting. Our comment was, fantastic, thank you, shared with grandparents in Florida and extended family at home. Hope you're able to continue that. We surely plan on continuing it.
Thank you, yes.
We may not always have the bright and wonderful commentary of Paul Smith. You may be just stuck with me once in a while.
There's contract negotiations ongoing at this point,
We are negotiating
Carl.
with Paul.
There's a lot of zeros.
2 bowls of soup.
2 bowls of soup and a lot of zeros before the decimal point.
Yes.
On that contract.
Yes.
I am going to make another effort to get head team coach Mike Parado up in the broadcast booth.
Perfect.
All right.
Okay, again, this is heat number 3 of event number 7 on the 100 backstroke.
Evan Kenseth with some nice underwaters off that start, by the way.
We'll see how it goes on the second turn here for all of them. I know that when I coach and you mention something like an underwater, it goes really well on the first underwater.
And then
After
it's forgotten.
It falls apart a little bit.
Yeah, I can feel that. Jackson leading the way out, 25.74 at the 50. Unless Jackson loses a lung, we might see a nice cut here.
We very well could. And at 54.43 in the program, or 55.43 in the program.
I don't know why we're not going to see, I'm going to guesstimate a 53.7. It was a little high. 53.15.
58.29 coming in for Evan, so that's a little over
nice
a
cut for
drop.
Evan.
That's
very
a very
nice.
Good swim.
Well done, well done.
All right. Paul is going to run off and see if he can get Coach Mike.
You're needed for an interview in the broadcast.
Oh, he doesn't want to.
Yes, you are.
Maybe we can get him after.
You have no choice, Mike. Mike Parado is feigning disinterest in the wide-scale exposure in the broadcast booth.
He's focused on the meet, and that's fine. I understand.
He's posturing, Carl.
He might be.
It's all about his brand.
What did Amy say?
Amy said, when Michelle, I believe, comes back, we will be joined by Michael Parado in the broadcast booth. So
I'm going to find a headset for him.
I have goosebumps on my arms. I think what I'll do is defer. I will give him my headset, and you're going to take control of the interview. Unless you want to reverse that, and I'll just embarrass him mercilessly.
Yeah, I think I'll just give him mine, and you can have at him.
All right.
All right, we are moving on to event number 8, the mixed 200-yard breaststroke.
Oh, boy.
This is one heat. Lane 3 will be Claire Kinseth. Lane 4, Hawken Naughton. Lane 5, Jovan Langseth. And in lane 6 will be Victoria Smith.
Is there any chance going into this heat that Hawken would consider giving Claire a head start?
Probably not. I tried to bribe Hawken last year so that Caroline Mulrooney could get a turtle if she won the 50 freestyle against Hawken, and he wasn't having anything to do with it.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that is the very definition of selfish.
A turtle was on the line.
I know that.
Sounds like we had a snapback on on one of the blocks. Again, we have Claire in lane 3, we have Hawken in lane 4, we have Jovan in lane 5, and Victoria Smith in lane 6.
I don't know what it is, Carl, but clearly the crowd is excited about the two breasts today. It makes you wonder why the kids in the 100 back didn't receive that type of attention.
I think breaststroke is an overall more accepted sport, or accepted event.
Well put.
Yeah. No, I don't believe that at all, but I wanted to throw it out there.
Hawken
coming in at the 100.
Oh, out nicely. 109.97. You know what they always say at this point, Carl?
Yeah, what is that?
How badly does Hawken want it? How much pain is he willing to withstand on the back end of this two-breast?
I'm gonna make a bet that he's got this heat.
Carl, come on. You have nothing to gain by putting yourself out there like that.
Coming in at the 150, Hawken is one of our senior elite swimmers that swims directly with Mike.
What's he going to split here? 37-ish, perhaps? 37.88.
Oh, you're so good. Why are you bringing yourself down to this level of swimming? You should be doing the big time.
I genuinely don't know. It was a personal favor to you, Carl.
I appreciate that. Just for that friendship that goes way back into the 80s.
Oh, man.
Maybe even the 70s.
That was well before you won
bell bottoms.
Your first of 9 American Swim Coaching Association of America awards.
Well before that.
Hawken?
Yeah.
Trying to finish strong. Not a bad swim at all for young Hawken, touching a 225.25. Say that 3 times fast, Carl.
I can't.
For the viewers.
I don't dare. We'll lose more viewers.
Just to paint an image for our viewers, Mike Parado, who will be joining us shortly, is wearing a very, very pale green T-shirt. I think
if it's like mine, we've had these shirts so long that they're I can barely read the Riptide insignia on the front of mine anymore.
Yeah. We wouldn't want to put him in front of a green screen.
No, he would disappear.
Not in that outfit.
All right, up next, we have event number 9. We have a couple of heats of this. This is the mixed 200-yard freestyle coming up.
One of my favorite races.
Yeah?
200 free, I swear, if you do it right, it hurts.
Yep.
It hurts bad. And I think so many people are scared of it. They take it out a little too slow, and they never make it up. Just my personal bias.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with that. I think it's the tactics for swimming the 200, for the swimming the 200 freestyle are all over the place. Depending on how your coaching style is.
Yep.
And I think a lot of that falls to, how coaches want to see you swim it and how you think you need to swim it as a swimmer. And I think there's a little bit of headbutting that goes on there because it's a long enough event where the kid is obviously like, I don't want to lose it in the last 25, right? Where most of them can hold it together for the 100. The 200, I think, throws a little bit of doubt into there because of
they start to feel the burn.
Yeah. All right, in heat number 1, we're going to have lane 3 is Ann Lee. In lane 4, Trent Kasulki. And in lane 5 is Nadine Boulos.
Trent and Ann both had nice swims earlier.
Yes,
if I had a sharper brain, I'd remember what the event was. But I do recall both of them having a great heat, and I thought they were in the same heat of something. If I'm wrong, it would be, I think, the 4th time since the COVID outbreak.
All right, here we go. 200 freestyle.
You know what I've learned, Carl?
I'm sorry?
You know what I've learned in all my years of broadcasting?
What is that?
You have to be true to yourself.
You do. I try to be true to myself. Oh, Mr. Parado.
Look who it is, Carl.
All right, I'm going to give you my headset.
You're coming into the hot seat, Mike.
Okay, Howard.
I'm going to...
Can I do Dandy Don?
You can do Dandy Don, Meredith.
Take care of this session.
This way.
Yep.
Wait, this way? Wait, this way?
Other way.
There we go.
And you're live, so...
Hi, guys.
I would like to apologize in advance for anything that Mike says or does during this interview. And Carl just tripped over the trash can trying to exit the broadcast booth. That was sad. Michael, how are you?
Hey, Paul.
We
Looks like a lot of fun.
We appreciate you coming up here to entertain the masses. Tell us, how are the kids swimming in your opinion this morning?
I think if you see, some of their seed times and some of the times they're actually doing, not too bad, honestly. It's nice. This is our second time trial. We did it a few weeks ago. It's been a long time since the kids have had opportunities to get up on the block and race and in a meet situation. So it's good introduction. We'll get through this summer as we're towards the end of the summer now, and hopefully we get more opportunities moving forward. And I think everything will go back to normal. That's what we're looking for.
That's fantastic. Yeah, Carl and I had been noting a really surprising number of kids under their seed times, actually.
Right.
Some nice swims.
It is. Very nice swims, even from some of the older ones where you think that wouldn't be the case. But I'm glad to see some kids swimming some different events as well and taking that opportunity to improve something that maybe wasn't a strength before.
Absolutely. By the way, speaking of which, Trent coming in, he's got a seed time 2:29. He touched in 2:19. Very
amazing.
Nice cut.
Yeah, I kids had this chance to develop it during this time. When we got back in initially, there was a good focus on skills and technique, and that's what we try to start with. And then, of course, try to make sure that we add enough training behind it. But, again, when we get to some normal practice times for all of our groups, I think this will be very, very good for our team.
Yeah, good things will happen.
Yep.
Yeah, and by the way, about a 10-second cut there as well.
Right.
It's hard to be in the broadcast booth, Mike.
Yeah.
You get all kinds of feedback.
Yes, you do.
Do you have any interesting anecdotes anecdotes you'd like to share? Do you have anything about your daughter Jess?
About Jessica? Well,
how's she doing? Is she?
Yeah, Jessica is just getting back to training again consistently.
For those of you who don't know or recall, Mike's daughter Jess is a Olympic diver for the United States. Very accomplished.
She was probably going to be a former diver at this point in her life, but she's chosen to stay on for another year and give it a shot at the trials, and hopefully all these things that we want to do moving forward actually happen. But yeah, so she's training again. It's a very limited opportunity there. She's at Indiana University. They're pro swimmers and their pro divers are training, but the Big Ten's chosen not to have athletics this fall.
Yep.
So there's a whole bunch of different things going on around the country, as we're all well aware. But in Jess's case, she's just getting back to it. She said she feels good.
Good.
So just keep doing that.
I'm glad. And by the way, we got the second heat of the 200 freestyle. Lane 2, we've got Abby Nan. Lane 3, Ben Fowler. Lane 4, Max Blodgett. Lane 5, Elizabeth McNugget Bonneville. Lane 6, Hadley Record. And Lane 7, Claudia Walker. What do you think here, Mike? We're going to see anybody
Max,
impress you?
Yeah, Max was really good on the first time trial that we did a few weeks back. So he's good. He's back to see if he can have an encore swim here. Let's see what happens. He's actually done extremely well.
Good deal.
Yep.
And I know Claudia is relatively new to our team, but she's been training well and enjoying her time here.
She has. I talked to her coach, Michelle, and Michelle says she's very much happy with what she's doing in her practices. And
beautiful.
Let's see what she could possibly do here in this swim.
Max out nice and solid, 26:20.
And Elizabeth is right there, too. So
yep.
Elizabeth, if I remember right, the time that she has in the program was a leadoff time for Riptide at the Junior National meet.
Junior Nationals out on the West Coast last year, right?
Right, in Seattle back in December. And
out in 55:28.
Very, very good.
See if they can keep it together on the back half.
Right, yeah, and I think we're actually, in a lot of cases, I've been talking to kids, especially in the shorter races, that they are better on the back half. So I think some of the training we've been doing has all been about some background work. There's not a lot of front speed, but we have been finishing well. So let's see, like you said, let's see how these guys hold on here.
Yeah. He's certainly attacking his turns, which is nice to see. So often kids will back off on their stroke rate in and out of turns, and I know that drives you crazy.
Right. You want to come into the wall with the same momentum you've been swimming through the 25 and not try to set it up. Just get into the wall
and get out.
Right? Yeah, press off the wall, get a good streamline, and use your legs, and then get up smoothly and head the other way. So this isn't a bad swim, and I think.
Yeah, it looks like what, a 155.11.
155.1.
And McNugget's going to sneak in at a 159.66. Got under 2.
Get under 2 minutes there.
Very nice heat.
I gotta say, this is a really cool thing.
It's fun to be able to do this. We've always wanted to, and Carl finally led the way in helping us get it up and running, and
this is
we really
fantastic.
Appreciate it.
I mean, you have a really nice view of the entire pool, and very, very good. This looks like this will be literally what we'll be doing moving forward. There'll be a lot of virtual meets, and this will be the way we'll do them.
And if we play our cards right, Mike, we could possibly, along with Carl, get a late night show on NBC for the Olympics next summer, if they do go forward with the Olympics.
I would like to see that happen.
Interviews.
Absolutely.
Commentary.
One of the things I'd like to see happen is this is our second time trial, and we've done them both early in the morning.
Yes.
And if I had my choice, I think we'd have that later, late afternoon or early evening, and give ourselves an opportunity to be a little bit looser and awake for our our time trial swims.
As you say, watching the 200 fly at 8:30 in the morning is a
Very
painful
difficult.
experience.
That event schedule was originally put together and as something that would happen in the afternoon.
Of course. Yep.
And we went forward with it in the morning, but it's a little hard. Some events are definitely more difficult than others to do in the AM.
And by the way, that reminds me, a big shout out to someone you know fairly well, Amy Parado, who has coordinated these meets for us and has managed a boatload administratively to make these things possible, so we certainly appreciate that.
Absolutely. She's put a lot of time into doing this. Spoke to a lot of people about, setting it up the right way, and certainly having what we're doing right now was one of those things, and we're very grateful to Carl for helping us out doing
Absolutely. Well, listen, I know you have more important things to do, so go back to the deck, unless you prefer to stay here.
No, I think
it will hurt Carl's feelings.
I probably belong on the deck.
All right.
Much more.
Well,
than
thank
this.
you, Mike. We appreciate you joining us.
All right. Thank you.
Mike Parado, everyone, head team coach here for Riptide. He's a USA Swimming national team coach. Again, coach Jenny Thompson to much success and is now currently doing the same thing with Reagan Smith, who's a multiple world record holder under Mike's tutelage. And we are thrilled to have Carl Kenseth back in the captain's chair.
That was wonderful. I wish I could have heard it. I'll have to play it back later on.
How is your shin?
Well, my shin is fine. Actually, my leg got stuck to the blue tape, and that's what tore down the barricade.
That's terrible.
I got a lot of giggles from parents.
You're not wearing enough Ben Gay.
I'm not.
That's the trick.
Yes. Well, we used to call it motion lotion in high school.
Motion lotion. Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people online may not know is years ago when myself, John Bonneville, both swam on the Rosemont High School swim team. I believe Gary Bonneville is on this feed from what I understand.
Yeah.
Gary's dad, or John's dad, Gary, used to make this creation before the state meet, section meet, called motion lotion. And it was a mix of wintergreen and baby oil. Back then, it was legal to smear that all over you.
So you squirt through the water like an eel?
You slide through the water like nothing. And of course, when John and I were swimming, that was back when Cook Hall at the U of M was the only pool.
By the way, Amelia Labno with a nice cut, winning it out of lane 5, 1:14.03 versus her seed time, 1:16.38.
Very nice.
Well done.
There was so much motion lotion in the water because everybody did it, right? I'm not calling out Gary for this. We all did it. Every team did it. That the Cook Hall pool would actually be cloudy.
Oh.
Yeah, it was totally gross. You couldn't see anything.
I bet the pool operators really appreciated that.
Yes. Not long after that, I believe it was banned and was never used again.
I believe
as far as we know.
Our own Nicole Idle would frown upon that type of motion lotion here.
I absolutely believe she would.
All right,
so that must have been heat 1 of the 100 fly. So we are now moving on to heat number 2 of the 100 fly. We have Kate McShake Bonneville. I shouldn't call her Kate. She's going to get mad at me, but Catherine McShake Bonneville.
McShake.
We have Robbie Megan in lane 2, Stella Bouchard in lane 3, Hunter Ridding in lane 4, Chloe Johnson in 5, Seb Gillen in 6, Charlie Bruner in 7, and Thomas Keller in lane 8.
Jim Wise,
yes,
the owner of this facility and of this team, has asked for us to share with him the link to the live broadcast. What do you think? I'm going to do it right here. Let's see if we can make this happen.
Yeah, I'm going to have you do that. I don't want anything to go wrong with this.
Of course not.
So I'm going to leave
I have
this
shared it, what I believe is our link.
Okay. And you should be able to also to go to YouTube, and you should be able to search. From what I understand after doing some investigation yesterday, YouTube, that part of it may be broken. So the best way to get there is if you have the email that you sent out, that Riptide sent out. The link is in there. Again, the best way to do that is to subscribe once you get there and hit the bell for notifications. That way, whenever a meet like this starts, a live stream like this starts, you will get notified automatically on your phone or wherever that to join the live stream. Looks like we have more. We have more from Florida, Minnesota, Florida, and North Carolina tuned in. That's great news.
Where's the West Coast in all this, Carl?
They're 2 hours behind. So in 2 hours we should hear from California, right?
We have a big viewership in Lake Tahoe, I understand.
Yes. Yes, I have heard that myself. All right, we are moving on to heat number 3.
Oh, I think we're on 2, aren't we?
I thought we just finished 2. Have we not even started 2? That's why I can't.
I'm asleep in the broadcast booth.
This off
I was paying attention to Mr. Wise's text.
Yes, I'm sorry. Well, we'll find out here sooner or later. But I think you're right.
I'm looking at the times on the board, and I believe that was heat 1. Our audience is losing respect for us by the minute.
It's a bad day when the audience has to tell us what heat we're on.
It's shameful. It's shameful.
It's probably better you didn't hear us.
Jennifer Bonneville, right over our right shoulder. She does not like the use of McShake and McNugget.
I believe she would like to be interviewed at one of these at some point.
She is being a momager. Isn't that right, Jennifer?
All right, I'm not sure. Maybe we're having a quick break because...
Wait a minute. Is this the halftime show, Carl?
It might be the halftime show. I don't have Janet Jackson queued up.
We could also do Broadway hits of the 90s. I don't know what that would be.
I don't either.
Was Cats a hit on Broadway in the 90s? Les Mis? Phantom?
Sure. I'll wait for the comments from the people on the stream to tell us. There's a lot of people out there smarter than I am.
Don't we have a camera that we could turn around on John Bonneville and his wife Jennifer and see them dancing or doing something interesting? John's a man of many talents.
John is a man of many talents.
Excuse me, Dr. Bonneville.
This is true. This is true. We do have a doctor in the house. I think we have a few doctors in the house, but John is a newly ordained. Is that the right word? Doctor? Ordained?
I think that's a minister.
I think that is a minister thing, yeah. So,
that sounded like a scene from Airplane.
Now, that's a movie we probably can't quote much on the live.
Well, you absolutely cannot quote that movie. We are up to a whopping 45.
I know. That is probably our highest. I'm going to call this the John Cam.
It's obvious, to me at least, that the crowd is becoming a bit frustrated.
Here's the John Cam. You see the Bonnevilles. There they are. Wave at the fans.
Oh,
hey!
That a handsome couple.
Gary and Sue.
What a handsome couple. That's
All
beautiful.
Right. Well, it sounds like we do have some kind of a halftime show going.
We would tell you what that song is, but it could be in violation of our copyright.
Yes, yes. We don't want anything to jeopardize this this stream. It may rhyme with Hilly Bowl, but I'm not.
He was married at one time to Christy Brinkley.
Yes.
You recall that?
She was an uptown girl.
In an uptown world.
This is getting terrible.
That's correct.
We're going to lose viewers. We gained viewers. All right. Well,
a whopping 48 viewers.
48.
This is what we call momentum.
Yes, it is. So, yeah, if you guys can spread the link, spread the news. Again, we'd like to get to 100-plus subscribers so that for those people who can't watch the live stream, they can view it pretty much immediately after it's completed, as YouTube should upload it to the YouTube site for Riptide. And thank you, Paul, for getting the Riptide stream all set up, the email, and so I can get the YouTube and everything going.
Carl,
it was very nice.
I was happy to do that. It took me approximately 45 seconds.
It was 45 seconds out of a very busy day.
Oh, yes, undoubtedly.
Okay, so the
Heat 2.
The parents in the stands were correct. We are moving on to Heat 2 finally. We have Catherine again in lane 1. We have Robbie Megan in 2, Stella Bouchard in 3, Hunter Ridding in 4, Chloe Johnson in 5, Seb Gillen in 6, Charlie Bruner in 7, and Thomas Keller in 8.
Lots of youngsters in this event here.
Yes. Chloe Johnson being the elder of the group at the ripe old age of 16.
16.
Yep.
That's correct. Let's see if Hunter explodes off the block in lane 4. Underwaters. Up. All right. We got some outside speed there in lane 8.
I think lane 8 is going to be some
Mr.
outside
Keller.
smoke. Yep,
yeah, we're going to see outside smoke without doubt.
Great
Thomas
turn.
leading the
Great
way.
Turn popped right off that wall.
Thomas looking like a locomotive
Yep.
in the far lane for our viewers. Coming in with a seat time of 1:12.91, but he's out in 28:40. Absolutely, he's ruining our bird-shaped flock picture here. With proper seating.
The flying V from,
it's the flying V.
Flying V
from something.
The Mighty Ducks.
Oh,
the movie.
Well done.
Yes.
Excellent cultural reference.
Thank you.
Thomas is going to scare the minute mark. Comes in at a minute .57. Substantial cut down from his 1:12.91, which obviously was from sometime in the early 2000s. Second place in lane 4. We've got Mr. Hunter Riding coming in at 1:07.79.
Well, it looks like we are going to get some rain here in the next hour or so, which is good because we can. It's good, I guess, if you want it to be good. I want it to be good because it helps take the glare out of the pool a little bit.
I believe we've got Al Roker in the green room waiting to come in and give us an update
Wonderful.
On the storm
is
front.
Is he still doing weather?
As far as you know, he is.
Okay.
Yes, Carl.
Okay. We do have a local weather celebrity that lives on our block.
Who would that be?
I believe it's Jonathan Uhas. I see him run by our house every.
Do you run out to the edge of the driveway and talk to him?
I don't talk to him. I just
clap as he goes by.
Clap and applaud. Yeah.
The appropriate level of distancing and respect.
Yeah.
For a local
I yell
media
to him
hero.
about, I ask about the weather, but he doesn't respond. I don't know why.
Maybe he thinks that's just idle chit chat.
It could be. Could be. Oh, we have a comment from Mr. Gary Bonneville, father of John Bonneville.
Gary.
We appreciate
the maker
that.
of the motion lotion.
The maker of the motion lotion, yes.
That's our honor. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
All right. Ooh, got a nice looking heat here coming up.
Yep. We're on the third heat of the 100 butterfly coming up. I will announce that shortly because last time I got very confused, so. And here they come. So we'll go ahead. We've got lane 1, Elizabeth Bonneville. Lane 2, Nico Valiente. Lane 3, Kaylee Buss. Lane 4, Logan Schindler. Lane 5, Braden Kovacs. Lane 6, Harrison Bowie. In lane 7 is Sarah DeFore. And in lane 8 is Anna Olson.
Carl, with your photographic memory, have we seen young Logan Schindler today?
We have once. And I want to say... I guess I want to say nothing because I can't remember where I saw
Well
him.
put.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, there he is. 100 freestyle.
100 freestyle.
At least 100.
100 free, 100 fly, huh? A little dogfight in lanes 4 and 5. Oh. Logan looking solid, as is Braden. Dead even at the 25.
Yep, and Braden is a good back half flyer, so we got to keep an eye on him.
Little inside baseball, well done. Uh-oh. Braden pulling away by about a third of a body.
We got great fans. Braden's mom is videotaping over my right shoulder here.
Very nice.
Yep.
There's got to be a copyright issue there as well, Carl.
Only if we're caught on her stream, on her
Go
video.
put your finger or something in front of
I would sue.
I would as well.
Yeah.
Look at this. Braden and Logan locking horns, and it looks like Braden's going to... Oh, Braden breathed coming in. Oxygen was necessary, apparently. 58.82.
A little bit off, but
Second,
still a good swim.
In a 59.63.
Yep.
Third place came in at 102.99 out in lane 6, Harrison Bowie. Carl, do you recall how earlier in the broadcast day we watched the 400 IM?
I do recall that, yes.
We now have the 200 IM,
We do.
Carl. It's similar to the 400 IM.
It's about half.
Roughly.
Yes.
According to Schoolhouse Rock, from when you and I were kids,
Oh, man.
a meter is just a little longer than a yard.
Yes.
Do you recall that?
I do.
That jingle? And I'm just a bill.
I'm not singing it if that's
today
where
I
you're
am
going with
still
this.
just a bill.
Okay.
And conjunction, junction.
I remember all those.
What's your function?
Yeah. I'm thinking at some point, it seems like everything is coming back, right? Everything's coming full circle. So I'm confident we will see those again at
I
some
hope
point.
so. I hope so.
Now, your children and my children are growing out of that stage, but maybe the younger generation will get to see it again.
We do know that a petition has been filed with Jim Wise, the owner of the Blue Water Aquatic Center, to immediately expand the pool from the 25 yards to 25 meters for international competition.
We do have a pool about a mile from here that is a meter pool, you know.
Oh, that is
Scott Highlands
correct.
Middle School
That
pool
is correct.
25 meters. It's one of the only ones around.
By the way, as is the Wise Swim School in Lakeville, they have 4 25-meter lanes there.
That I did
We're
not know
very
that.
international in flavor.
You are very international, yes.
It's possible we'll be hosting an ISL meet here.
Hunter's grandparents throwing out a shout out. Great job, Hunter. Congratulations. So proud. It's great to hear. We love to see people watching and seeing their grandkids especially.
And Hunter's grandparents should know that Sissy is camped out at her table, dealing with her swimmers, giving them feedback after each race.
Yep.
Just slightly out of our camera angle. If you see those tables down at the bottom right of your screen, Sissy's down at the other end of the pool at one of those tables.
All right, we are moving on to event number 11, the 200-yard IM. We have Caitlin Kuznar in lane 3, Aiden Seimer in 4, Trent Kasulki again
Trent!
in lane 5, and Abby Glode in lane 6.
For Trent, it's feeling like a tough quadruple, but I don't believe it is. It just seems that we've seen him.
I think he can only swim 3.
I know
This might
that,
be the
but
3 of 3 right here.
I wonder if he snuck into another event, Carl.
That could affect the rules, the eligibility.
It could be a violation.
It could be. Looks like a lot of the kids must be done. We have a fair amount of parents up here that have left the stands.
It is still standing room only, however.
It is. It is. But, to this point, Riptide has gone to every length to make it as safe as possible, obviously, for the kids and the staff and the coaches. We have a limited number of seats in the stands for live action. That's, again, one of the reasons that we're doing the live stream as well. But they've made Riptide's made a lot of efforts on the pool deck as well to keep people separated, make sure that masks are being worn and all that. And I don't know if you want to speak to the months and months and months of planning and headaches and everything else it's taken to make sure we're compliant, we're within the governor's, orders. You don't have to speak to it, but I know it's been a lot of work.
Yeah, I hate to take too much time away from the kids here halfway through their 2 IM, but yeah, a tremendous amount of work went in on the part of administration and coaches to try to make this the safest possible environment. We obviously owe that to our families and to our swimmers and to our staff. And Nicole Idle did great work leading a lot of the safety processes that we've put in place here. As you've said, mask uses, social distancing, cleaning of the facility on a consistent basis. Very fun and smart setups in terms of when kids arrive and depart practices and where they set up. Chairs spread out 6 to 8 feet apart. And simple processes for which doors you're coming in, where you're exiting, and the kids have, by and large, done a really fantastic job of adhering to that. So we know it's a privilege to have been open during this period, and I'm very, very proud of how our kids and our coaching staff and our administrative staff came together to make it happen.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been a good process.
Al Roker, by the way, will not be joining us.
Yeah, I have an app for weather, so I don't think we need him. And it seems that the worst of it is kind of toning down.
It's kind of falling apart there,
isn't it? So we might be all right. The only reason we mention this is because, again, we have all the electronics and we're doing the live stream. If we lose the stream, it's probably because A, YouTube is killing us, or B, we've been struck by lightning.
And probably B.
It might be B.
By the way, Aiden, with about an 8-second cut there in the 2IM. 248 down to 240. Very well done.
Very nice.
And what did we get out in lane 5? A 240.38 by Mr. Trent. Oh, another significant cut. Really nicely done. Third place was Caitlin. Yeah, Caitlin had a nice swim. Yep, and Abby. Very well done as well.
Yep.
Very nice opening heat. 2 more to go.
2 more to go in the 200 IM.
And then, dun dun dun.
Gosh, Paul, it's almost over.
I know. Sad, isn't it?
It is sad. We got the 500 free after this, and only 1 heat of that.
It will feature young Evan Kenseth, who you know well.
I do know him.
And he's got a young upstart, Sullivan Labno.
Yes.
Who just at our last Intrasquad meet snuck under the 5-minute mark for the first time.
Yep, Sullivan dropped about 11 seconds on the last meet and got under that long attempted 5-minute mark.
I love watching Sullivan race. He has that X factor you can't really teach. He gets out fast. He's not afraid, and so it's going to be fun because I know Evan will be aggressive as well. It's going to be fun to see him get out quickly. The Smith heat.
Oh, brother and sister.
Uh-oh.
So
Coach Amy Parado has yelled up to us. We have 3 Smiths in this meet.
We do have 3 Smiths.
It's a common name, Carl.
2 and 3 are brother-sister, though. That I know for sure. So in lane 1, we have Adele Gill. In lane 2, Victoria Smith. Lane 3, her younger brother, Aiden Smith. In lane 4, Felicia Simring. Lane 5, my daughter, Claire Kinseth. Lane 6, Sawyer Smith. I don't believe any relation. Lane 7, Grace Sturrott. And in lane 8 is Megan Wall.
I haven't been in school for quite some time, Carl, but I'd say a Smith has a 3/8 chance, at least, of winning this.
Yes,
this
I would agree completely with that
event. That's called working with the numerator and the denominator, Carl.
I'm just going to leave it at that.
Thank you.
Yes.
Jim Wise is listening from Brainerd.
Well,
his beautiful wife, Teresa,
that's close to
is
Canada.
a mathematical genius,
yeah.
So she will need to check my probability formula to be sure that my 3/8.
And I'm sure she can do that.
That's correct. What are you seeing, Carl?
I am seeing Miss Felicia taking off at a pretty good clip on the 50 butterfly with Claire and Sawyer on her heels.
Into the backstroke. Felicia looking strong. Although, it appears to me that a young Claire Kenseth is closing the gap. Yep, we're looking at about a 2-yard lead going into that turn. Claire is trying, but so far, Felicia is hanging on strong. Coming into the breaststroke, which, as we always said, the differentiator.
Claire does have a decent breaststroke.
Oh, she did the bucket turn,
She did
Carl.
the bucket turn. That's always nice to see. It's great that that's being taught. Felicia does have a better breaststroke and is pulling away from the group at this point.
Oh, Felicia, beautiful breaststroke there.
Yep.
Nice long glide. Very productive stroke.
Yep. And Felicia swims for Michelle Hopewell in the Senior 2 group.
Tell me that Felicia is a solid 200 breaststroker.
I don't know.
She should be.
Yeah, I'll have to look that one up.
That's a
yes,
calling.
She has a very good breaststroke.
Can she close it out here on the final 50? Touching in 151.20. Adele coming into the wall down here in lane 1. Heading into her freestyle leg. And here comes Felicia, still looking solid. Claire fighting away over there in lane 5. But it is going to be Felicia coming in. Her seed time, 2:19.97. And she wraps it up in 2:25.78. Nice solid swim. We have hit the 50 mark, Carl.
We have hit the 50 mark on concurrent sessions, so that's great to see.
Halfway again to the free bowl of split pea soup. And an immediate upload to YouTube.
Yes, and an immediate. Oh, and then we lost 2. Well, it happens. So we're going to go into our cool down here. And then we're going to move on to heat number 3, the final heat of the 200-yard IM. We will have Elsa Riley in lane 1, Matthew Warwig in lane 2. In lane 3, T-Bus again. Lane 4, Hawken Naughton. Lane 5, Jackson Keller. Now that lane 4, lane 5, Hawken Jackson is going to be a race.
Yeah, they're going to throw down here.
2 very good IMers, and that one's going to be fun. Grayson Marcotte is in lane 6, Audrey Persage in lane 7, and Sophie Scroggins in lane 8.
Carl, I don't know if you're seeing what I'm seeing, but it does again appear that Hawken Naughton has a baton standing over on the far side of the pool, and he may have been striking Jackson Keller in the shins. Did you notice that?
I did not see it, but my
It's
monitor
backlit.
is in the way.
You can see it's backlit. They're standing there against the brightly lit, right underneath the Elsmore sign.
Oh,
Elsmore
yes.
for all your swimming needs.
There you go. Now, that was something very distinctly 80s, was the Nancy Kerrigan.
That was Tanya Harding and Nancy
Tanya
Kerrigan.
Harding, yep.
Great movie that they just did a few years ago.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one
It
yet.
was well done.
You're telling me you really watched it?
And I'm going to take it. I'm going to take that back. It was not a baton in Hawkins' hand. It was in fact his mask.
Oh, that's very different.
I still believe he might have been hitting Jackson with
a
it.
lot less damage.
Well, the psychological damage is hard to quantify.
There is that.
Ooh,
I know, fancy, right?
that was nice.
I still can't see. It didn't really do me any good.
It doesn't matter.
No.
The world is your oyster on screen.
Yes. I have the same view that everybody online has. I can watch the pool a little bit, but I've got a screen in front of me to run the
That's
show.
correct. Yeah, you're in the obstructed view seating.
A little bit, yeah.
All right, this is going to be interesting. Jackson will try to annihilate this opening fly and leave no doubt. Let's see if Hawken will hang with him. Again, Hawken in lane 4, Jackson in lane 5. Ooh. Jackson by a nose at the 25 turn. Very improved underwaters from Jackson. He's worked on those, and you could tell right there. Out in a solid 25.42, followed closely by Hawken, 26.95. Into the backstroke leg. Jackson at the 75, Hawken in close pursuit.
Grayson coming up on lane 6. He's having a good swim.
Grayson does look strong. Up. Touched in about a 57. Now, can Hawken close ground in the breaststroke? I believe he can. But I believed a lot of things that aren't necessarily true, Carl.
Most of the things I've told you. Great underwater by Jackson.
He just crushed him there, didn't he?
Yeah.
Hawken is going to gain no ground in the breaststroke, leaving Jackson in control right at the turn. Oh boy, Jackson really looks good.
Yep.
Hawken's fighting, looking strong.
I think these kids look great for where we're at in the season.
Oh, unquestionably.
I'm impressed with the entire meet so far.
159.64 for Jackson. Hawken touches in 202.16. Grayson sneaking in lane 6 for third place, 211.11. And yeah, I know Mike beat him up pretty good in long course yesterday.
Yeah.
down in Northfield, so no one was expected to be lightning fast, obviously. And again, swimming in practice suits, but they do look good.
They do. All right, we got the cool down about to happen, and then we are moving into our final event number 12, the mixed 500-yard freestyle. We will have 7 swimmers, and that will take place. I don't know if we have a break at all or not. I haven't heard anything, but we will go with it, and that will be the final event of the day. Paul making every attempt to get us banned from YouTube at this point.
Of course. I think we should take the little webcam and give people some behind-the-scenes looks at head team coach Mike Parado and his sidekick Michelle Hopewell. This gives you some idea.
Call this the coach cam.
Some idea of the grueling work that they're doing behind the scenes. It's not glamorous. You see him down there. That's right. That would be Mike in the lime green and Michelle standing there. Just earlier, they were doing their impression of breaststroke. Michelle was now twisting.
But as you can see, we were talking about the setup earlier, and we have the table set out. The kids will come to the coaches. The tables give that little bit of barrier, for that little bit of safety for the, since they should be in their masks, but it's hard to breathe in a mask after you've just swam a 200 IM. So
yeah, they're cut a little bit of slack again, which is why we do have those tables set up and keeping them spread.
All right, so here we go with the 500 freestyle, last event of this morning. We have lane 1 is Brennigo Branson, lane 2 Tate Dial, lane 3 Sullivan Labno, lane 4 Evan Kinseth, lane 5 Matthew Mortensen, lane 6 Caroline Mulrooney, and in lane 7 Hunter Ridding.
So let's
stand up for this one.
Let's watch young Sullivan here in lane 3 try to give chase to Evan in lane 4. I promise you he'll give it everything he's got. The question will be, will he have enough in the tank on the back end? Dead even at the turn, Carl.
Out in 26.92 and 9.5. Yeah.
Neck and neck. Nice little race here going on in lanes 3 and 4. And Mr. Mortensen in lane 5, Matthew looking strong as well. Into the turn, it's going to be Evan by a nose and a half. And again, Carl, this is one of those races at this point in the season with the amount of training that has been going on. It does take some guts to get out quickly and trust that you're not going to have your arms on fire at the 350.
Yeah, and to put it into a little bit of perspective, I've got more knowledge of Evan because he's my son, of course, but, in his mile at senior state, he was holding 28.6s, 28.7.
Exactly.
Where in the 500 right now, he's about 29. So you can see the difference that the training and the lack, or I should say, the lower rate of training has done.
Absolutely. So turning in 150, what, 4-ish, 155?
Yep. Holding pretty steady. Sullivan at 30.3, Matt at 30.5. That's about where they were on their second and third 50s. Evan pretty much at his same at the 29.5. We'll see how they hold up here.
Yep. Coming into the halfway.
29.01, so Evans brought it down a little bit.
225 and change.
I think Sullivan is exactly where he was on his last 50.
I think
exactly. I think they were both 30-39.
Yeah, they're holding their splits here very consistently in lanes 3, 4, and 5. There you go.
29-2 for Evan.
Does Evan tend to like to back half his distance races, or is he a pretty even split?
He's very steady.
Got it.
So, as an example, in the mile at Senior State, his second 50 was a 28.6, 28.7, and he never deviated from that the rest of the way.
More than a couple of tenths or so.
He never went over 29, and I don't believe he ever went under 28.5 after that. So he was right in there.
Good.
So he's very steady.
As we mentioned before, Sullivan here in lane 3 produced his first sub 5 minute 500 free at our Intrasquad a few weeks back.
Yep.
We'll see if he can repeat that.
29.4. Yeah, Sullivan's very steady.
Yeah, he's right there at 30.5.
Off a little bit, but not too much. And coming up on our final 50 here at the turn, we've got the bell.
Yep, bell lap underway.
29.28, so he's steady Eddie right now, as he normally is. Sullivan, 30.01, he's dropped in that 50 right there.
Yep.
So he's giving it some go.
Punching the accelerator a bit. We know he wanted to try to sneak under the 450 mark at this point in the season. He's going to be right there.
450.3.
Yeah,
so
450.3.
He'll be okay with that.
He sure will. Yeah. Come on, Sullivan.
And he's going to have a best time as well.
458.34. 2 consecutive cuts for Mr. Labno in that event.
Yep.
Very nice.
Matthew in at 5:05.23.
Yeah, Matthew, nice as well. Very respectable efforts there.
Well, we've got Caroline out in lane 7. She's an up-and-comer. She's one that people are going to want to watch, as well as Kate Dial. Caroline's 12, so she was a little bit of an exception to the 13 and over today, but her times have earned her to be here.
Earned her the invite.
Senior group.
Very much so. Came in at 5:35.92. Hunter wraps it up at 5:44.57. Tate in at 5:48.18. And Brenna coming in at 5:53.78.
All right. That seems like it was over so fast. I'm sad a little bit.
Yeah, that was quick.
It was.
What time is it here?
I don't know.
Hair past a freckle? Is that how it works?
10:30. We were supposed to be done at 10:30.
Yeah, you're right.
It's 10:29. So perfect. Well, we're going to mute ourselves here for a little bit. We'll let the meat noise take over. But thank you again for joining. At top we had about 50 people watching. Some great comments. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate all your
Thank you, Carl.
commentary.
Appreciate all the hard work again. That's
no
really
problem.
great.
You're very welcome. Thank you to Mike for coming on up and giving us some insight on, I don't know what you guys talked about. I heard Jessica a little bit, so I'm assuming you talked about her diving and how that's going.
Yep.
But with that, we're going to sign off. Again, I'm going to leave the stream go for a little bit so you guys can watch cool down and tear down and see what's going on. But that is it for this round. Next time we have another meet, we will plan on live streaming it. Again, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you get notified as soon as the stream starts. You can jump right to it and watch. Thanks again. We'll talk to you all soon.
think that was fun.
It was fun.
Easy.
Yeah. I'm by myself tomorrow.
Oh, you're going to do it tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if you were just doing the session
No,
today.
I'm going to do both sessions tomorrow. So,
well, shit, yeah, grab somebody to come. Shoot, somebody. It's so fun to sit here with you and do this.
Yeah, I might grab a parent.
Seriously, just anybody to sit and...
I think in reality, we should have a third headset.
Yeah.
So that they can just sit down.
People popping in and out.
Yeah. It would be great to have Amy up here, Michelle up here.
Absolutely.
The heads of those different groups to, kind of give an insight on where they're at with practices.
Right. It's tricky because obviously I'm sure it upsets somebody if their kid's in the water or if you're jabbering and not paying attention or something. So you never want to do that. So it's hard in a swim meet, but so what? I mean, I think we still have to.
But I think at the same time, the child might be in the water swimming, but
they can still see it.
They can still see it. They can still watch it. But they can also get some insight. Maybe Michelle is their child's coach. Right?
That's a great point. So you're right. Well, this was so slick
when it worked.
But what do you think happened?
Well, the only thing I changed was you have two options in here for the stream.
Yeah.
You have the backup server and you have the primary. I was on the primary. So if the YouTube primary server is being bombarded by outside forces, that's the only thing I can think of. Because as soon as I switched it to the backup, it kicked right.
Okay. I thought you had tried that multi because it looked like you were trying everything.
Well, I changed stream keys as well just to make sure.
Okay.
Because this is generated. It should be, the stream key should be, I should be able to use it forever.
Got it.
Right? But sometimes I run into problems. I generated new ones. It is what it is.
Okay.
So I'm just going to have to know that if I run into that failure again, I'm going to have to go to the backup server. That's really all it was. So yeah, I think having the scoreboard up there is slick.
It is. Again, you're not sitting here as a spectator going, "What the hell? This is stupid. I can't see it." So that solves. As you said, would it be nice if you could be going back and forth and zooming in? Of course it would. Yeah. But this is actually a pretty good view.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
A little bit of that.
Hi, Teresa.
Hi, Teresa Jerish.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Yeah, this was fun.
I'm like, oh.